Woo, here we are again. How is everybody tonight? Tina, Christopher, glad to see you guys here tonight. Yeah, it's actually thawed out of here a little bit too. It's in the upper 40s now. It's a lot better than those 20s and 30s we've been having. But it has rained for almost a week steady. Today was the first time that we've had any sunshine in quite a while. I'm going to jump over here right quick to YouTube and see. There we go. Let's see. Huh. Oh, well. I've got a new setup. We got our daughter a new gaming screen for her setup, and I got her old gaming screen. I've got it hooked via HDMI cable to my laptop. So you're getting a little different view of my shop, a little different angle on me, and I'm looking at a big screen over here. Yeah, hey, bring on the stupid story of the week. Tell you what, there's been a lot of them concerning eBay over the past several days. Hey, DMB, how are you? We're just getting started. We're going to wait a few minutes before we get started on tonight's topic, which is eBay's up to some shenanigans. I can't speak tonight. So he buys 2 pair. I combined shipping, and he messaged me this evening with a pic that I sent the wrong pair. Oh, I've actually done that before or something similar. I sell a lot of watch parts, and a month or two back, I was listing mainsprings for vintage watches, and they were selling almost as fast as I was listing them. And I had 2 packages that I sent to the wrong places, and it took a couple of weeks, but I got both guys to send them back, and then I readdressed them and sent them right back out. Hey, little Miss Q. So you bought a new label to send him the correct pair. Apply to a padded mailer for him to buy. Huh? Yeah. Hey, sometimes you have to do that. Everybody makes mistakes, and you know, if your business isn't strong enough to withstand a mistake now and again, you need to up your game. So you did the right thing. You jumped through hoops, bent over backwards to do right by him, and I'm sure he appreciates it and understands. Hey, Ping, how are you? Yeah, that was an awesome way to do it, Tina. So what you did is you bought another label, put the correct pants in the padded envelope plate, and then you bought a second label on top of that so he could send the original pair back to you, and you included that in the package with the correct pair. That was an awesome thing to do. There's nothing stupid about that at all. That's smart. Hey, Roman, how are you? All right, we're getting a few people in here. And let's see. $58 for a used pen and pencil set. That must have been a really good one. Hey, Swamp Picker, how are you? Brother, if I remember right, your name is Gino. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, but no, Tina, that was an excellent way to handle that. That's good information to put out there to people. Use pen and pencil. That must have been a really good one. Were they gold filled, or did the pen have like one of those 14 karat gold nibs or something? Swamp Picker, brother, I know I've heard your name in the chats before. Glenn, that's it. I'm sorry about that, man. I am just horrible with names. But once I get it, I've got it. The pen didn't work. Oh. We got enough people in here. We're going to get started. Matt, and I'm not the only one having problems with eBay. You guys remember last month they froze my money, wouldn't let me have access to my money. I was still selling. I could still list, still do everything. I even broadcast live with me talking to customer service 2 days in a row, talked to several different people. None of them could tell me why they were doing it to me. There's Matt. And they finally just released my money. Not a word, no explanation, no nothing. Day after Christmas, they did it to me again. Yeah. I got up morning after Christmas, did my packing, went to try and ship stuff. Post office was closed on a Monday that wasn't even a holiday. It's a day after a holiday. UPS office closed. Again, not a holiday. No big deal. People need a day off now and again. So I come home, get online, and I check, and I always check my payments to see how much money I have. Boom, big red letters that they've frozen my account again. Not my whole account, just access to my payments. Yeah. So I got hot under the collar quick. But at least this time they sent me an email, and there's a big red banner saying we're just checking some details. We'll let you know if we need anything else. It's going to take 5 days. I'm like, oh, hell no. 5 days, my bills are due. I need that money. So on the phone I get with them. And again, through the rigor, go overseas call center. They don't know nothing. I'm like, put me in touch with a supervisor. Put me in touch with somebody in the United States. I need some answers this time. Guess what? Still didn't get any answers. Finally, one of them said, oh, I see it's already been removed. Your funds will be available in the morning. And sure enough, the following morning, they were available. Still no answers as to why. I'm like, look, please tell me if there's something wrong with my account. I'll fix it. I'll do whatever it takes, but y'all can't just keep freezing my money. Something tells me that it's going to happen again. Little Miss Q sent me a picture. Oh, well, Little Miss Q, is it okay if I show what you sent? Let me get back over here. Oh, I'm not sharing screen. That's right. Okay, let's go look. Wrong one. Oh, there we go. Louisville Slugger, baseball bat and pen. Cool. Baseball bat, pencil and pen, Cleveland Indians. That actually looks cool. And it disappeared on me. I'm working from the computer, not my phone. I wish Instagram wouldn't do that. Little Miss Q, there's no way for me to share that picture now. It has disappeared. I'll share my screen and show you what I mean. Get back to here. Was it under here? Yeah. Woo! Junk Monkey got paid. What did I sell? $16 for some watch parts we were just talking about. Share screen. Boom. There we go. All right. Let's go over here to Instagram. And look, see that right there? Yeah. when you're working from the computer or even from your phone, you have to screenshot something and send it as a photo, not take a photo and share it at the same time. Otherwise, as soon as anybody looks at it, it disappears. I don't know. Instagram's kind of weird. I'm not all that computer savvy. I do know that when I just share a picture in a chat, it disappears. But if I take a screenshot, save it to my photos, and then share it from my photo album directly to the chat, then it stays up. Matt, did we not see? You don't see? Okay, well, let me try that again. Share screen. Share screen. Okay, guys, are you guys seeing me? Oh, here we go. Share. Huh. Well, MSQ, I don't know what to tell you. This mess is. Yeah, entire window. Chrome tab. Select. Man, they've already changed this mess up too. Let me see if Instagram. Huh. There it is. Right there. I still don't know if I shared it. Well, they've changed up Streamlabs now. Just when I was starting to figure things out. Oh, well, anyway, there it is. And now I don't know how to get rid of that and bring myself back up unless I do this. How do I get? Yeah, there we go. Jeez. Why don't they leave stuff alone? They're getting as bad as eBay about changing crap that don't need to be changed. And this is why I don't do pre-recorded videos. Every time I start learning how to edit, they change the programming and I have to start all over. And I'm not good with this tech stuff. But they really do. They need to stop changing stuff just for the simple sake of changing stuff. It's not more intuitive. It's just different. And there's no reason for it. And speaking of eBay, they are making changes. I don't know why they keep freezing my account, and I'm not the only one they're doing it to. They've got problems. Oh no, little Miss Q, it is a cool sell. I'll keep my eye out for those kind of things myself. I love selling the pin sets. I just don't see them very often anymore. But one of the other things, I've been seeing a lot of people posting that they're getting messages from eBay saying that they haven't met minimum standards far too often, and if they don't start acting right, they're going to get their accounts banned. I've never gotten that one myself, but I've seen them. Yeah, the new shipping page is the only thing I don't like about it is when I get done printing a shipping label, instead of just scrolling up to the right and clicking with my mouse, now I have to actually scroll the page down and find the back two orders. I do my shipping labels one at a time. I go get the item, I pull it, I box it up, I measure it, I weigh it, punch those numbers in, click print the label or buy and print label. And then I go on to the next one. These people who print out all their labels all at one time, not me. I can't do that. And I don't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. I just can't. I don't listen to podcast or music or put a movie on and have that playing while I work. I one track mind. Whatever I'm focusing on, I stay focused on it till I get it done. Then I move to the next thing. Filson flannel. Yeah, I'm still waiting to find a CC Filson anything. I find Pendleton fairly often, but I've never found Filson. Although this week, if you didn't see it on my Instagram, I found Lucchese boots, and yesterday I found Prada dress shoes for men. I don't know, but I see people doing it all the time. They're like, they. I don't know. Just to be honest with you, I don't know that. See people that write notes on the back of the label, and I don't know how they keep it straight either. You know, I guess if you're niched down and everything is going first class, and you don't mind sitting there at your computer and writing down what that label goes to, I guess that would be okay. But when you sell a little bit of everything and you've got first class going out, you got priority going out, you got UPS ground going out, and it's all different size packages and weights. And no, that's just too easy for me to. Yeah, I know how to print a pick list, but my computer is right in the middle of my inventory. So I just pull it up on the screen and pull it, pack it, and ship it one at a time. Back when my office was still in the house, I would do that. I would print a pick list, go out, grab everything, box each one of them up, and get all my weights and measurements and write notes. I go back in, type all that in, print the labels out one at a time, write on the back of the label exactly what it was for, and then come out here, put the labels on the packages. That's the closest I got to printing all my labels at one time. Yeah, so if you're having if the new shipping thing, the layout is not too different. The biggest difference, like I said, is how to get back to your orders. If you've got the roller style thing, just scroll down a couple of clicks and click on back to order. It's going to take me doing it a couple more times to get used to it, which I'm pretty close to that already. I don't know how to print a scan sheet, and I oftentimes I will do shipping from different platforms. Some of my shipping I do straight from eBay. All my UPS stuff I do straight from, or I go over to Pirate Ship and do it from there. Hey, Mama Beth, how are you? So, in case everybody hasn't heard, eBay has, and probably other platforms joined the fight too. They have staved off this having to send everybody who sold $600 a 1099. For most of us who sell regularly, we go way past that anyway. But it saves eBay a ton of work and man hours that they're having to pay for. Between that and this thing where they're seizing people's money for absolutely no reason, they're aggravating the crap out of people, especially smaller sellers. I think they may be trying to downsize their seller pool. The fewer small sellers they have, the less man hours they're going to have to put into generating tax forms every year. Yeah, I know it's little annoying little changes like that. It's also on your draft where you do the exclusions. That used to be super easy, all in one little spot. Now you have to scroll like 50 times to click on the stuff you want to exclude. But oh well, it's their platform. They can do what they want with it. But I flat out told eBay the other day if they keep this mess up, I'll just go get me a Macari account and a Poshmark account, which I need to do anyway, because there are so many horror stories that have come out about eBay over the past year that if you're going to be a reseller, you're going to have to be on multiple platforms. That's just all there is to it. Now, I am not going to make the mistake of cross-listing. Most of the people over the last week who got the letter or the email from eBay saying they're going to get their account shut down, the biggest problem that I've seen amongst people was they made mistakes while cross listing. They were double selling stuff and having to cancel their orders. Yeah, that deleting the shipping option is ridiculous. And then you have to go scroll and scroll and scroll and find another one. I would rather just click on a window and choose one time rather than having to delete something and then apply something else. But this mess where they keep pulling my money, holding my money, from now on, every day, I'm transferring the money daily. It's going to play hell with my bookkeeping, but I'd rather have to do a little extra bookkeeping than have to worry about not getting my money. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Chrissy, just to let you catch you up, eBay took my money again. Got it back. Still no reason, or still no explanation on why they keep doing it. They keep telling me it's random. I'm like, bull. There's no way you did this to me twice inside of 1 month and call that random. It just does not compute. The daily shipping charge, I called them about that too. It still shows up every day. They're telling me that it's not actually taking any more money out of my account, that it just isn't cycling down and off the recent activity list. And by the way, they were supposed to call me within 24 to 48 hours about the hold on my money. And then it clicked. They said 24 to 48 business hours, which 48 business hours is a week and a day. That's 6 working days. Hey, Ken, how are you? I'm going to have to start using that one, Ken. It's gotten to where when I join a chat, I spend the first 5 to 10 minutes there saying hello to everybody. No, they just said they were checking details. Variety Flipper, welcome in, by the way. And they won't tell me what details. I'm like, listen, this is not, doesn't make sense. The details haven't changed from the last time you did this. They haven't changed from when I re-verified my account 2 months ago. And none of that has changed in the last 2 or 3 years. 3 years. Same bank, same card, same address, same everything. 100% positive feedback. The only ding on my account is for double selling something because they double listed it due to a glitch in their system, which I sent in a request to have that defect removed, which they still haven't. So, you know, with the way they're messing with so many resellers right now, I can't help but think that about a year ago, one of the big high muckety mucks made a public statement that they were steering away from small sellers and trying to get into the big high-end watch and jewelry market, that they wanted to focus on that. Then he had to eat crow and backpedal and say, no, he didn't mean he was trying to get away from us. They were just trying to invite even bigger sellers. And we're like, yeah, that's not what you said, though. But now, through their own actions, it looks like he meant what he said the first time. No, why would you mess with my money? Why would they need to freeze my assets to check a detail? No red flags. Got proof of ownership, everything that I sell. I've got receipts, bill of sale, cash checks, you name it, I've got it. I'm not selling $1 million worth of sneakers that I can't prove that I own or that I got through regular channels. So yeah, from now on, every day I'm pulling my money. I'm not leaving it in there anymore. I used to leave a little in there for a couple of reasons. One, to cover any returns, and the other was to make my bookkeeping easier, where I would just go in once a week and do my books. I've thought about selling on high bid. I've done a little buying off high bid. High bid is not as big in the Pacific Northwest as it is in other parts of the country. Best of my knowledge, there is zero high bid in California. Um, I think there's maybe 7 or 8 high bid sellers in Oregon. And the biggest reason I don't like high bid, they don't realize high enough prices for the kind of stuff that I sell. High bid is like it's sort of a little bit like Whatnot. It's a good place to source things to resell in other places to make a higher profit. I, I'm, I don't know that I would ever mess with high bid. Now, if things work out for me this year, I will be retiring from my watchmaking job in October. And part of that setup is I'm going to start doing, like a lot of people are doing, I'm going to start doing storage units and processing them. And high bid would be a good way to get rid of a lot of stuff. It very much depends on an area, because a lot of people who buy on high bid don't really want to ship, because well, every high bid auctioneer or auction seller, whatever they're called over there, their shipping prices are outrageous. Then again, I I haven't looked into it that much, but and I've heard horror stories about people who end up getting charged too much for shipping, and then when they get their items in, they're all beat to hell. And there's no recourse on high bid. Yeah, we have a local auction house, but they're very spotty. They may go several weeks without an auction, and they're pretty small. But I will be doing this year, I will be setting up accounts on other platforms. The last time I did multiple platforms was back when Yahoo Auctions still existed. That's been a while. Yeah, yeah, I'm not. I get on high bid and I buy the kind of stuff that the closest to me. One of them is an hour away, and the other area that has 2 or 3 sellers is about 2 hours away from me. So I have to be able to buy a lot at a really good price to make it worth my while for a 4 hour round trip. Yeah, the cross listing thing, I like the idea of it. What I don't like about it is that none of the platforms, none of the apps, none of them offer automatic deletion from other platforms when an item sells. And like I said earlier, there are a lot of people getting threatened to have their eBay accounts shut down specifically because of errors made due to cross listing. Hey, Sal, how are you? So until they can figure out a way to delist things for me automatically, I am not cross listing. I will do something along the lines of all my better shoes and clothing items will go on Poshmark, and pretty much everything else will go on Macari. There's a couple of other sites out there for higher end stuff. You guys know I sell a lot of vintage, antique, and luxury watches. There are other sites that I can do that at. Make fees are probably a little steeper, but if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. eBay's going to have to straighten up and fly right, because I can't risk not getting paid for the stuff that I sell and ship. Yeah. So Roman, when you sell something, how are you going in? You have to manually go in, find that item on the other platforms, and delete it from there, right? Oh, But that's, that's the one thing that keeps me from, let's see, there's List Perfectly, and then there's another one I know that's free, Flip. So does Flip automatically delist when it sells on one platform, and does it automatically delist from the others? Yeah. Well, as it is, I'm working 2 jobs and taking care of a home and all the bookkeeping. I do it all. So yeah, all it takes is one mistake, and you know, it's a big risk. So Flip does now delist. They don't automatically delist it, but you can delist it from the Flip app. Is that what I'm hearing? Hey, Cajun. So from the app, you can mark it as sold, and then it will delist for you. Mm. Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, see, it's some things I like to get in on the ground floor, but with the cross listing, I don't think they've got it quite figured out to the level that I would like them to have it figured out before I risk it. Oh, I got another good eBay story for you guys today. Um, I sold a Rolex a couple of days ago. The guy sent me an offer, and it was close enough, so I accepted. I saw the offer come in and immediately went to. So in less than 60 seconds, I saw the offer come in and I accepted the offer. About an hour or two later, the guy comes back and says, literally, another dealer had accepted another offer he had put out just minutes before I accepted mine. I'm like, well, that's not possible because I accepted yours less than a minute after you sent it. And he's like, well, I'm going to have to pass. Like, okay. He has not officially asked me to cancel it. He has not officially asked eBay to cancel it. I'm going to let it go until he gets a ding on his account. Yeah, I've never sold through Amazon. I don't quite like what they're doing. I don't find enough of the kind of stuff that people say is good to sell on Amazon to, excuse me, to warrant starting an Amazon account for selling. I buy a lot on Amazon. Good Lord. Had a daughter not only got a new screen, but we also ordered her on Amazon a new gaming chair, and it didn't show up until today. And apparently, Amazon Prime does not mean free shipping on everything, because I had to pay an extra $40 or $50 to get this chair delivered. Yeah, I shop on there because it's easy, and with the amount of stuff that I do buy, especially all my shipping supplies, that free shipping saves me money. Cajun, do you do that FBA thing where as you gather stuff up, you put it all in a box, ship it off to one of their warehouses and then they handle it from there? Or do you send it out yourself? Another thing that scares me about selling on Amazon is they've got those free no hassle returns. And there's a whole industry of buying pallets of Amazon returns. They've got bin stores now that is almost totally Amazon returns, and people will put a rock in a box and send it back, and they've got a free item. So you do some of both. Okay. Facebook Marketplace. I don't do Facebook at all anymore. I still have an account there. I just never look at it. I deleted everything that I had over there. And I had a group. It was the oldest and most prestigious, and for the many years was the largest of its type, 15 years worth, with over 50,000 members. I shut every bit of it down. Facebook is just completely unpalatable for me anymore. Chrissy, I hear that some of the stuff nowadays, if it doesn't sell, they will just destroy it, and you're just out the item. They say they destroy it. They send it straight to their. It's another one of those Amazon pallet things. Yeah, January the 1st, you should be able to, or if you haven't done it this quarter, you do need to get your eBay coupon and use it to buy you some supplies. I use mine the instant they come in. And it really depends on what I'm lowest on that I order. Except tape. I will not use the eBay tape. That stuff is terrible. I use their 8x6. I buy a lot of my 8x6x4 boxes from them. Bubble mailers sometimes if I'm low on those. Yeah, that eBay tape, man, I just don't like it. You got to use 3 times as much of it to feel secure in sending a package out. Those combo units, DVD, VCRs, those are one of my top 5 items that I sold this past year. But recently, all of my local thrift stores, primarily the Goodwills, they've went from selling them at $7.59 a piece to $10.49 to $15.79. Now they're $19.90 something, or they're $24.90 something. And the vast majority of those, the average sale price on them is $39. At $20 to $25, there's not enough meat left on that bone. So I probably won't sell as many as those this year as I have this coming year. They profit margin just isn't there unless I can get lucky and catch them on a half off day, which I'm going to have to start going on Sundays, which I don't like doing. Oh, reached in there and turned my heater on. Yeah, they have you got to be careful buying the bubble mailers on Amazon. If you buy the cheapest Amazon essential ones, they suck. I still use them for things that it doesn't really matter. But if there's anything even remotely delicate, I'll go ahead and put that in a small box. One of my favorite boxes to ship in is a 6x4x2. I'll grab one and show it to you. It's these right here, the little fold-up ones. They're the perfect size for small items. and they fold up like this. Then they've got this thing like that, and it's great for small items. I've got one other size of this. It's the same depth and width, but it's longer. I ordered those by mistake, thinking a VHS tape would fit in them, and they don't. So if it won't fit in this or that, then it goes in a bigger box. But the little white Amazon Essential bubble mailers. These things, they're okay for a lot of stuff. I mean, they're not the best in the world, but I have yet to have a problem with anything that I've shipped in these. But then again, I don't ship anything delicate in them. Some things, if they're a little nicer, I also buy the same size, but in a much tougher, much higher quality bubble mailer. And they're where these are 7 or 8 cents a piece. These are 16 to 24 cents a piece. Still, it's not that much money. Hey, Cameron, how are you? Mountain State Pickers, good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, that's any more with stuff at Goodwill. But here's the thing. Goodwill is watching us. They're getting on YouTube. They're seeing what we're buying from them and selling for a profit. They want a cut of that profit. So everything that's normally talked about, shoes, VCR, DVD combos, electronics, vacuums and parts and pieces, kitchenware, everything that we sell as bread and butter, they've jacked the prices up. A lot of times doubled and tripled the prices. Plus, they're learning how to do sold comps. They're not doing it right, but they're using that to justify jacking prices up. I looked up an item today, and it was a $75 to $100 item. I looked up and I looked down, and they had theirs listed for $50. Then I looked twice and filtered by the model number, and the model that they have only sells for like $20 and has a horrible sell-through rate on it. But they did the same thing I did. They just went by the name of the item, not the model number. Saw them jumping up at $75 on average on up to $100 for a brand new one, and they put $50 on it. Well, it's not going to sell. Every single pair of cowboy boots in 2 out of the 3 Goodwills that I go to are now $50 a pair. Doesn't matter what they are. The soles can be falling off of them. They could be made in China, plastic, not even leather. $50 is the price. The average price for a pair of cowboy boots. So, that's ridiculous amount of money for a pair of cowboy boots. But no, they're paying attention, and they've partnered over this past year with Hammock. Hammock was a app or a website supposedly by resellers for resellers, but now they've partnered with eBay. And if you've noticed, a lot of the bread and butter items that you look for, the only one time you're finding those items now, they're in poor condition, whereas you used to find good condition ones all the time. Now they're getting shipped. If you ask the local workers, they're telling them we're sending those to some home office or some place. What they're really doing is they're sending them all to Hammock, and Hammock is putting reseller boxes together and selling them. But yeah, and they're kicking up trying to kick up their online retail business as well. He'd be real bored sitting in front of my house. But no, they watch all the YouTube stuff, the Instagrams. Every time we post something, but look what I found at Goodwill. I paid $7.59 for it. I just sold it for $34.99. Now, next time you go into a Goodwill, they're no longer $7.99. They're $17.99. Yeah. And apparently they're getting some of these stupid prices, because I've run across things that if they were just a little lower, I would have bought them. And then the next day I go in and that item's not there anymore. Mountain State, I haven't watched that video. I know of its existence. I should probably go. The thing about that is everything that CEO, he's not the CEO of all Goodwill. The he was local to the Florida area where Ryan is at. So everything that they've discussed there and what they're doing and why is all for that regional manager or whoever he is. That's his rules for his area. That has absolutely nothing to do with mine or your area unless you live close to Rally Roots. Yeah, it's an older video of theirs. I don't really follow Rally Roots as much as I used to. They've got to where they're inconsistent putting out their videos, and they're doing a lot more of their videos are about either whatnot or building their barn dominium. And to be honest, I don't watch as much reseller content as I used to. My favorite thing to do is to interact with other resellers via live video chats like we're doing right here. There are still a few people that I watch everything they put out, and I try to watch as many others as I can as I have time, but I can either watch people making money or I can make money. So yeah, and even within my valley, I have 3 retail Goodwill stores. Within about a 30-minute drive, I can hit all 3 of them with 30 minutes of driving or less. Even within the 3, there are major differences in layouts and pricings. And, I've got the store last week where I found the Lucchese boots. I paid $14 for Lucchese boots over there. And they rarely ever price at $20 or above on boots. Most of the time, they're $15.79. Occasionally, if they're a little rough, they'll put them at $10.49 or something like that. But then there was the one they do all their boots at $20 to $25, and then the other one, every pair in there is $50. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, me too. Occasionally, when I see them, they find something at a garage sale, estate sale, or when they're shopping. I will still watch Rally Roots when they put a video out like that. Occasionally. Yeah, Roman, that's when I walk through the door. In all of my Goodwills, I know where they position the new carts to work out of. I beat feet straight to those, because if there's anything good on them, I want to be the first one to grab them. Because once they hit the shelf, it's. But yeah, that's the first place I check are those new carts, and then I make my rounds from there. I have a little different strategy for each one of the stores because they're laid out a little different. Hell, I can hear them carts coming out of the back room from anywhere in the store, and I'll go chase them. I'll get right behind them like, hey, you ever feel like you're being followed? Some of the new people, they get a little weird look on their face when I say that to them. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I got too much to do to just stand there and wait. Unless one of them tells me they got something good coming out, and then I'll stand there and wait. And I've had them do that for me. I make friends of all the people that work there. Most of them know me by sight. Not all of them are friendly to me, but most of them are. And I try to always be friendly to them. I've got too many places I can source to stand and wait for just one at one place all day. Even my bins is halfway between two of them, and uh, I will go there first a lot of times, and I will go in and make my rounds through all the bins. I start with hard goods, then I move over to the clothing. If they don't have a rotation by the time I get done with that, when I do get done with it, I'll go look through the batwing doors to see if they've got bins ready to come out. If they don't, I'm down the road to the next place. Time is money, and there's stuff somewhere. Uh, I'm lucky. I know that in a lot of places, um, Goodwills don't allow you to pick from the cart. All of my local Goodwills, they'll park it out, and there'll be three or four of us standing around. They'll go, "Here you go, have at it." So they like it when we pick from the cart because that's less work they have to do. One thing I don't like is my number one Goodwill store that I go to. It's the one closest to me and my job, my day job, such as it is. The golf clubs are no longer in a rack. They throw them on a bottom shelf now in a big jumbled up pile. Yeah, Roman, that's just common courtesy. I'm not going to touch that cart as it's rolling. If they've got their hands on it and they're pushing it, I'm not touching it. It just that's just rude. Not to mention if you pull something and then a bunch of other crap falls off with it, you've just created a problem for them. I'll wait till they stop. As soon as they stop, though, I'm going to start grabbing. That doesn't going to stop me from looking as they roll, though. Yeah, they were my bins only recently started doing the thing where they make people stand back until the entire rotation is done because they just got tired of people reaching into the bins as they're rolling in them and trying to position them, and they get in the way. They've circled one that they've already positioned, and then they're trying to position the next one, and they have to yell at people, "Get out of the way." So now they finally went to the rule where everybody has to stand back until all of the bins are out and positioned. And then they'll say go and everybody can start digging. I actually like that better because now instead of everybody in the place just trying to jam up around everyone as soon as it comes out, everybody naturally just spreads out, picks a bin, and tries to get into it as soon as they say go. Whoo, Junk Monkey got paid. What did we sell this time? $20 for a pair of Nike slides. Not bad. Somebody flipped a switch today on eBay. I need to get me some of that Rachel Strickland luck going where I can tell you to hit that like button and you're guaranteed to sell or you get your money back. I don't have that kind of luck yet, but y'all can try. You know, Chrissy, I do the same thing. I don't join those rabid packs, reaching and snatching, jerking, yanking. I don't look for the stuff they're looking for. Well, I do, but I'm more interested in finding the weird stuff that sells for big money that they know nothing about. That's Rachel. I was just talking about you. Hello. Oh, I mean to tell you, her ears must have been burning. Rachel, are you still in New York? Of course it was good. Oh, when they bring out a bin full of nothing but shoes, people go nuts at my bins. I bet you're glad to be home. New York is a fun place to visit, but it don't take but a couple of days to see as much of it as you can handle. You wouldn't happen to have made it to 47th Street, would you? By the way, I sold something to a dealer on 47th Street today. This new mouse, I've got a whole new setup, y'all, and I'm still learning it. Dang, Rachel, there's so many questions that coming in at you. I ought to just send you a link so you can get on here and talk instead of type. If you're up for it, let me know. My last, Chrissy, are you talking about what I sold to a dealer on 47th Street? All right, no worries. Okay, I sold a rare, hard to find watch band bracelet. It's called in the Rolex world. It's for a Rolex watch from the mid 70s. I have the only one, had the only one available for sale, and there hasn't been but one other sold in the last 90 days, and it sold for 1,800. I negotiated a deal with the dealer on 47th Street, place called Benny's Jewelers. For those of you that don't know, 47th Street in New York is the Diamond District. It's also where all of the world's most expensive watches are bought and sold on a daily basis. It's actually on my bucket list to go to 47th Street, meet a bunch of the dealers that I know and have done business with through the years, and do a little bit of a sourcing trip out there. Because I know those guys, the kind of stuff that's bread and butter for Rolex watches for me and other high end watches that I sell is the kind of stuff they just throw in a bucket. Literally, they have buckets full of Rolexes that they don't do anything with unless somebody like me comes in asking for them. There's also a certain kind of diamond that I collect. So if I can find them anywhere, it would be on that street. I don't know if I've ever told you guys that before, but I am a full custom jeweler as well as a watchmaker. I'm also a lapidary. I cut and polish stones and I make jewelry. You know, the food scene in New York has got to be great. Yeah, the security on that street, you'll be lucky if you ever see them, but they are there. And trust me, you would much rather it was police than these guys who get a hold of you. Rachel, it wasn't that much. What, I send you 5 or 6 stones? maybe 6 or 7. What I need to do, my stone cutting equipment needs some work and some maintenance. And I need to get, like my faceting machine, I need to send it to the manufacturer and have the electric motor on it replaced. And my uh, carving and grinding machine, it needs all new wheels on it, and those things are expensive. I really enjoy cutting the stones almost as much as I enjoy mining them, which is something else I do. If you guys ever looked at my channel and looked back on some of my really old videos, I am a gemstone miner and prospector. I also prospect and mine a little bit of gold here and there. In fact, mine and my wife's wedding rings are made in part of gold that I mined myself, and I made them. I also used family gold and some gold from watches and jewelry off of my bench. So our wedding rings have a little bit of everything that I do incorporated in them. Well, not a jack of all trades. Hey, speaking of which, have you guys ever heard the entire saying? Most people think it goes jack of all trades, master of none. But there's an actual third line to that. So it's jack of all trades, master of none, yet still better than a master of one. Well, they're just plain gold wedding bands, but they're probably somewhere in the 16 karat range of purity. And I heat treated them and work hardened them. So they're very, very durable. And they hold a polish amazingly well. I also made my wife's engagement ring and set the diamond in it. Yeah, there's a lot of old sayings like that. That over time, they've lost their original meaning because people have shortened them. But I'm the type of jeweler who can do everything and has done everything from pulling the raw materials out of the ground all the way to the finished product. There's not many of us out there that can say that, and at a high level, not just a hobbyist level. I've worked for very high end jewelry stores over the years. I once set a pair of diamonds, made a pair of earrings out of 2 oval cut diamonds, radiant oval cuts. Those 2 diamonds were perfectly matched, 1.5 carat, internally flawless, pure D white, colorless diamonds. That pair of diamonds cost more money than I make in 3 years. Harry Winston is one of my favorite people in the history of jewelry. Harry Winston, the original Harry Winston, the man, was a diamond merchant in New York, and he handled all of the world's biggest diamonds. He was known to walk around with them in his pocket and play with them until he figured out what he wanted to do with them, and he just enjoyed having them. He was also the man who donated the Hope Diamond to the Smithsonian. And do you know how he sent that diamond from where he lived in New York to the Smithsonian? He sent it parcel post. If you go to the Smithsonian and view the Hope Diamond, if you ask, they will show you another display of the box that he sent it in. Can you imagine sending one of the world's most famous diamonds, USPS Parcel Select ground, today? Not a chance. One of the other cool things about Harry Winston is his insurance company would not allow any pictures of his face to be published. It was. It was when mail was very reliable. Yeah, he sent it in just a small little brown box with a piece of string tied around it. I think he wrapped it up in a wad of brown paper. But these days, I have to admit, over the past year, this past year, I had far less trouble with lost packages than I had the year before. The daily shipping charge, they're telling me that the daily shipping charge is not actually coming out of my money. It just has not cycled out of my recent activity list. And they may be right about that because there is so much happening, so many fees that I'm paying on a daily basis, hourly almost, with between sales coming in. You got your final value fee, then you got a ad fee, and then you got a shipping label. It makes it very difficult to keep up with $4.90. I did it a couple of times where I believed that $4.90 was coming out, but they've started another order or ticket to look into it for me. So if it doesn't go away pretty soon, or if I don't hear from them pretty soon, we'll get on the telephone and call them live again. Yeah, I had no problems with late. I may have 5 packages that I get dinged on for late shipment because yesterday all my local post office and mail drops were all closed. And I don't think yesterday or Monday, yeah, day before yesterday, I don't think Monday was a federal holiday. I don't know why the post office was closed. Hopefully I'm wrong and I don't get dinged on those. I actually had one package go missing. Didn't know it had gone missing till I got the positive feedback from the buyer. And he said, never got this, but that's a USPS problem. That's the kind of buyer I like. But without him asking, I went ahead and refunded him. It was a $9 and something refund. It just made me feel better to give the man his $9 and change back. Matt, I'm glad to hear that. That's just because I got the thing to ship within 24-hour notice on eBay. So maybe eBay is the only one that didn't get the notice. Christopher, I don't believe I have seen it yet. Is that the one where somebody was hoarding Nikes? Because if it is, I've got it queued up on my computer to watch later tonight. Yeah, Variety Flipper, I used to think that too. But not only do you have to print it, you have to go get it scanned. I hate to say it, but my sales over December were down by 24 or 25%. That number changed today. It is now down by, because of one sale. Man, come on, mouse. I am currently down 16.3% for the month. Awesome. Yeah, I'll be sure to watch it. Bearded Thrift Machine, Julian, he's one of the resellers. I watch every single video he drops. He's one of the ones that I've been watching the longest also. And developed a somewhat of a friendly friendship via Instagram and YouTube. Huh. Well, let me see if I can find that. Right. Yeah, there is a seller level. If you go to your seller hub and you have the standard layout, if you scroll down on the right, you'll see a thing called seller level region US. It'll give you your current seller level, and it'll say under that, if we evaluated you today, I'm top rated in both of them. Then there's transaction defect rate, late shipment rate, and then there's tracking uploaded on time and validated. I'm 100% on that. So it may not show up as a late shipment, but it will show up as a ding on your tracking uploaded on time and validated, which those two numbers don't always jive, because sometimes if you just drop your packages off at the post office, like through one of their chutes where you can just drop mail, it may not get scanned till the following day. And then it'll, or if you do it on a Friday or Saturday and it don't get scanned until Monday, it can still show up as a ding on your account. Just not as a late shipment. Just, it's not a late shipment ding. It's a uh, tracking uploaded and validated ding. I have 1 day handling, and I do ship every day, and I ship on Saturdays. But yeah, I have had to fight eBay over that uploaded and tracking on time and validated thing, because I do ship every day. It's not my fault some lazy person at the post office didn't scan it. Also, I used to drop all my mail at the UPS store because they would accept mail there, but they have no way to scan it. So by the time a USPS truck would come by, pick that mail up, take it to the yard, and somebody eventually scanned it, it may be 2 or 3 days later. Even though I bought my shipping label through eBay and uploaded the tracking, if it didn't get scanned for 2 or 3 days, it was showing up as a defect on my account. I've been thinking about changing to 2 day shipping, but it's such an ingrained part of my daily routine. And the number one time I think about changing it to 2 days when I can't find something, which is not really all that often, maybe once a month. If I leave my home every day by 10:30 every morning, everything that is paid before that time gets packaged and shipped that day. Saturdays, I will wait as late as noon or 1 p.m. And everything that's paid by then gets shipped. Then everything from there until Monday morning, 10 a.m., all gets shipped at one time. Yeah, Ping, I know I should do that. But since I started taking mine directly to the post office instead of dropping it off at the UPS store, I have zero shipping defects. It's all of these things that those of us who ship every day, we work hard to be great, top rated plus sellers. And for them to take somebody like us, me, who works so hard to keep things going the way they're supposed to, for them to just arbitrarily take my money away from me without explanation is extremely frustrating and aggravating. Oh, who am I kidding? It pisses me off. I am not a morning person. I really am not. I am a night owl. I always have been, always will be. All those years I spent in the military, I hated getting up in the mornings. There's absolutely nothing wrong with 2 day shipping. It's just like I said, I should do it. But when I first signed up or did the thing, they told me if I do 1 day shipping or next day shipping, that I'd get that discount. I thought I had to do next day. So it just become ingrained in me. It's like I said, it's part of my daily routine. So I get up in the morning, get my coffee, and I sit down at the computer. I see if there's any sales that have come through. I see if there's any offers I need to answer. And then I see if there's any offers I need to send out. I finish my coffee. I get up, I come out, I pull orders and get them all packaged up, labeled, and ready to go. And if there's any time left, I will do some drafting or listing or some cleaning or something until it's time to take packages in and drop them off. Luckily, I have the UPS store within 5 or 6 blocks of me, and the post office is only 2 blocks from where my day job is. So I really don't have to go out of my way to drop packages. Yeah. Really? Every great once in a while, I'll throw a little something extra in, especially if it's a large lot of something. Like right now, I have a large lot of wheat pennies up for sale. And I know there's 800 in there, but just to cover myself, I grabbed another small handful and threw in there. So instead of getting 800, they're going to get 815 or 816, something like that. But I've always done that on large lots of stuff. Even when I was selling rough gemstones, if somebody ordered a kilo, which is 1,000 grams, they would get like 1,000 plus an extra 50 grams or so. It's just good business. Send a little more. A little extra is always better than even a tiny bit under. But I don't understand people who don't appreciate getting a little extra in their box. Now I have seen people throw a fit. I've had sellers, they are Christian, who would put a little something extra in there, whatever it was, and had buyers just go off, thought it was an attack on them or something. Yeah. Tina, the free returns, I'll tell you why it is a good thing. Number one is people, when they're searching for an item that they want, they can actually filter down the results they're getting by sellers who are top rated or sellers who offer free returns. That's the first good thing about it. The next good thing about it is they can send anything they back that they want. They can do it. There's not a thing you can do to stop them. They will claim that the item is not as described. eBay will side with them every time, even if it's obvious that they're lying. And they will take that money to ship that item from you, whether you want them to or not. It is easier to just go ahead, turn on free returns, let them send it back. 9 times out of 10, it may not be anywhere near as bad as you think. Recently, I sold a La Crusade sauce pot. The woman got it in, immediately said, wasn't item not as described, just threw a fit. There was nothing wrong with that pot. Nothing. But I'm like, well, send it back. I thought I was going to get away with not having to issue a refund because she waited to the last second to send it back. And she sent it back in the same condition that I sent it to her in. Now, if I didn't do free returns, that person could have started a 9-ad case on me, and there is nothing I could have done to stop it. And eBay would have sided with her, and then I'd have had a major ding on my account. It's one of those things I talked about real early on in the show. Your business, you need to run it in such a manner that it becomes strong enough to handle a return. Every business, every brick and mortar business around you, just about at least 98% of them or more take returns. Walmart takes returns. Target takes returns. Everybody takes returns. It's part of doing business. And the harder you fight it, the worse it damages your business. Take the return, get the item back. If they've done something wrong to your item, report them. But always understand that in business, you're going to take a loss from time to time. And to minimize it, just give a shipping label. That's another good reason, Roman, is you can have negative feedbacks removed if you offer free returns. Exactly, Roman. That's what I was saying. They can return it whether you accept returns or not. And if you're running a big enough resale business, you have to have free returns to get that top rated plus seller. And that also gives you a discount on your final value fees. Now they tell you it's 10% on your fees. It's not 10% across the board. It's 10% on the fees. So if you owe $1,000 a month in fees, you're actually going to pay $900 a month. So if you sell $3,000 to $5,000 a month, that adds up pretty quick to $300 or $400 a month in savings. Good night, Tina. Back when I was on auctions only for more than 20 years, I was auction only. Once or twice a month, I would gather watches up and I would put them up for auction. And it was a little extra money every month to help me pay my bills. And it's a way for me to get rid of watches that didn't fit my collection. Hello, Jackson. Nice to see you. eBay's shenanigans. Man, you got here way late. I'll remind me in a few minutes. We'll go back over them. But anyway, I did auctions only, and I did not accept returns. And, I put it in I had a full set of blurbs that I would use every auction. Study the pictures carefully. Ask any questions before bidding. It's being sold as is, where it is. You cannot return it. But when you start reselling and doing, you open a store and you're going to list daily and do buy it nows on everything. That's just part of doing business. You have to take those returns. Hey, glad to hear it, Pockets. Rachel, that's what we were talking about 20 seconds before you popped into the chat. I was telling people I wish I had the kind of luck that would I could tell people to hit the like and they were guaranteed to sell or their money back, but I don't have that kind of luck. But apparently you brought it with you, so thank you. I have two different styles of thank you stickers. One roll I found at the I think Salvation Army. I think I paid 50 cents for a giant roll of them. They're just little rectangular yellow stickers that say thank you. So anything like a tool or anything, if it goes into a little poly bag or something, I'll put the little sticker on it. And then for nice items and clothing and everything, I use the same thank you sticker that, oh Lord, what is her online handle? Hustle at Home Mom. Back when I first started doing full time reselling, I went to her Amazon links and found those stickers. And so I like them. So I've been buying them ever since. Hey, that's pretty good. I didn't know Cracker Barrel made blow molds. I just listed a industrial grade coffee pot that weighs close to 50 pounds and is going to take a 24 by 24 by 24 cube box to ship. So it's large items like that. I always do the calculated shipping. So that one is going to be expensive to ship unless somebody locally. That's what I forgot to do. I was going to turn on local pickup for that thing. Yeah, let me. Oh, we're going to have a shootout. Shots fired. Some of you guys have been doing this longer than me are going to have to send me a message and tell me how to get those affiliate links from Amazon. Rachel, are you a good shot? Oh, Rachel, I have something Lego related to show you. Uh, it's my Darth Vader Lego alarm clock. And it works. I've had the thing for 2 years. I just haven't been able to bring myself to list it. Stay. Do not fall. Howdy, Glenn. Glad to see you're still here and that I remembered your name. Every time I find a blow mold, the thing is too damaged. Neighbor across the street was having a yard sale this past summer, and I went and took her 3 or 4 of them that I had accumulated, donated it to the cause. Oh, the shenanigans. Right. Jaxie, I have had my payout money frozen by eBay twice this month for no reason whatsoever. 100% feedback, positive feedback, top rated plus seller. The only defect on my account whatsoever is because eBay double listed their system glitched and double listed an item, so it double sold, and I had to cancel the second time it sold. And I have a request in to have that defect removed from my record, but they keep freezing my money. They are also sending out a lot of letters to people who cross list, telling them they're going to have their accounts permanently banned. They're there's just a lot of weird stuff going on with eBay over the last couple of months. No, not for cross listing. Not being good enough to, well, it's the same thing as my double listed item. People were not getting they were making mistakes while cross listing, and items were getting double listed and double sold in one place and then not removed from another place. And so people are getting into a lot of trouble with that, and eBay's not playing. I got that thing. I think I picked that thing up at the bins. I'm fairly certain, because I don't believe I would have bought it at one of the retail outlets. But yeah, it's eBay's looking for a reason, looking for any reason to lower the number of smaller sellers. They actually said almost that about a year ago. Then had to backpedal because the guy misspoke or whatever. But it's for multitude of reasons. They don't have the manpower or to handle everything that they're going to have to handle coming up. For one thing, the 1099s for anybody who makes $600 or more. Now that did get pushed back till next to the following year for another year, but it's still on the horizon. They're still going to have to. It's still going to cost them a ton of money and in man hours and generating all these 1099s. They don't care whether you or I have to pay taxes. They care about the amount of work they're going to have to do to make sure we all get our 1099s. And if you're a small seller, you're only selling a few $100 a month, there are millions of sellers on eBay that are just that. They're small time. They're only making a few hundred to a few $1,000s a year. So for eBay to have to generate 1099s for each and every one of them is unbelievably expensive on their part. So that, amongst a few other things, is why eBay is tightening everything up, cracking the whip, and flat out harassing some people, is because they're trying to get rid of smaller people that they deem more work than what they're worth. Yeah, I forgot about going to Walmart and seeing what was half off, but I hate to say this because I know, so many people make such good money. I don't like selling. 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 I don't like sel holiday related stuff. It just too easy to get caught with a bunch of it, so to speak. You stock up on this stuff, and then Christmas time rolls around, and you put it all up there, but only half to 2/3 of it sell. What do you do with the rest of it? And yes, I know some Christmas sells year round, but not all Christmas. If it was that good, it would have sold at Christmas. Yeah, I don't know that it's. We're not going to get into the political stuff. Talking politics just puts a horrible taste in my mouth, and it's just not something I like doing. It doesn't really matter whose fault something is, something still exists, and we all have to deal with it. Oh man, I lost my train of thought again. But I was talking about the holiday related stuff. Now, the one thing I will pick up is vintage Halloween, because vintage Halloween will sell. That stuff actually does sell all year round. And if it's Halloween and it's vintage, it's good. I've never found vintage Halloween that wouldn't sell. It's okay, Jackson. I understand. You'd be amazed how many of us agree with you. It's just I don't like talking about that on a public forum kind of place. That's probably the one thing that ran me off of Facebook was just how nasty the politics on there got. So I just don't mess with it online. Anything Halloween that's vintage, any kind of decoration, um, postcards, paper mache decorations, vintage costumes related stuff, anything that's Halloween that's vintage, uh, and not just technically vintage. If it's 20 years old, it's probably good. But I'm talking about stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, any of that kind of, even into the early 70s, any of that kind of Halloween stuff you find, pick it up because it's going to sell. Basil. I'm not that much of an expert on it. Whenever I find something Halloween theme related, I just look it up at the moment. As far as that goes, anything horror related, DVDs, VHSs, that stuff always sells for me during the Halloween season. So yeah, all those just terrible, no budget B movie horror flicks. The what do they call those things? The gore movies. If you can find that kind of stuff cheap, pick it up any time of the year. Some of it'll sell any time of the year, but get that stuff posted in the Halloween season, and it'll sell pretty good. Most of that kind of stuff, unless it's something rare and extremely sought after, I, I won't mess with it in the thrift stores. But at the bins or a yard sale, I won't even look it up. I'll just snatch it. Yeah, the slasher films, all that kind of stuff. And the older they are, the better. VHS slasher films, great. Okay, what you got? Yes, old wrestling stuff from the 70s and 80s and further back is good. All right, Rachel, you tell that Israel we said hello. Yeah, I do. Why wouldn't I? I wouldn't know how to turn in a partial receipt. Everything I buy at the bins, I buy specifically for reselling. Whether it's inventory that I'm selling to make a profit on, or it's the supplies that I use in my business. If it, Jackson, if you're buying this stuff for your resale business, whether you're actually reselling it as an item or you're using it as supplies or storage or tools, cleaning supplies, shipping supplies, if it deals with your business, yes, claim it. If it's for personal use, no. That's just if it's related to your business, you can claim it. If it's personal use, something you buy for your house or your kitchen or your car, no, you can't really claim that. Now, listen, I am not a tax expert. I'm just telling you what I've been told. If you buy something, anything, any money you spend on your business, you can claim that against your business. But personal items you buy, collectible, something you want to just collect or have, or something you give away, something, it doesn't matter. If it's not related to your business, you can't claim it. Uh, I, I wasn't present for what Kat was talking about. I, I don't buy that much stuff at the thrift for personal use, but when I do, I don't count against my taxes. That's just, I don't want to go through an audit and they're like, oh, well, you bought 43 bars of Irish soap. Where's the listing for it? Yeah. If it's our office space, that deals with their business. Again, and, if it's office supplies, that's fine. But if it's for personal use, you can't claim it. That's what I've been told. And yes, you can. There is a deduction. If you have an office at your home that you work out of, there is a way to claim that. There is a deduction for it. Now, however, I have been told I claim my home office. Uh, Both my wife and I both have offices here at home that are used specifically to make money. However, I have been told that using that deduction is a red flag and can be the cause of you going through an audit. I don't know how true that is. Again, I am not a CPA. I am not a tax accountant or a tax lawyer. These are just things that I've heard. I've claimed my home office every year and I've never had an audit. Hey, here's the one piece of the two pieces of advice I'm going to give you about taxes. Number one, go get you a CPA. If you're reselling, you deal with that CPA either on a monthly or a quarterly basis. You have to pay in every quarter. If you don't, and you only do it once a year, you get penalized for that. Second piece of advice, don't cheat on your taxes. Just don't do it. They're going to catch you. And the longer you get away with it before they catch you, the worse it's going to be for you after they catch you. They can red flag me for claiming a home office all they want. They can send somebody down here with a tape measure and a camera. I'll show them my office space. I'm sitting in one of them, and my wife has the other one set up in the house. She works from home a lot. Jaxie, you're asking for a lot of tax advice. Again, I am not a tax guy. If you make money, you need to report that money. Uh, if you're taking deductions for things that are not deductible, that's not right. Don't do it. If you really want to know all the ins and outs of that, please go talk to a CPA. I'm not qualified to tell you what is or isn't. I can tell you that I don't claim things that I buy for personal use, and I pay quarterly. There is somebody, the not your, who's the reselling accountant here on YouTube? If somebody knows the reselling accountant's link, if they can go grab that and drop it for me. Reselling taxes are no different than any other business tax. You spend money on inventory, you spend money on logistics, you spend money on supplies. Those things are deductible. You make money. That money you make, the profit after your cost of goods, is taxable. Other than that, the specifics, I don't know anything about it. I pay somebody to handle that for me. If I put something in my sheets that she says is not deductible, well, we just take that off and we don't deduct it. Christopher, Mark is the name of the reselling accountant. No, it's I. Sometimes I lose track of mine, and I have to pause for a minute to think about it. Huh? I know somebody else who's qualified, but it's not really her thing. So I'll have to get permission from her before I steer people her way to answer those kind of questions. Yeah, that's like I said. I pay somebody to worry about my taxes. Every quarter she tells me how much I need to pay. I cut a check. It gets taken care of. I write down everything, every dollar I spend. I hand it all to her, and she tells me what is and is not deductible. And I don't care why, one way or the other, as long as everything's on the up and up and keeps me out of trouble. All right, Jackson, I'm glad you came by. We'll be here every Wednesday evening. Not your dad's CPA mark. There you go. Jackson, if you're still here, look that up on YouTube, and that guy can certainly answer some questions for you. And I'll be glad. I hate summer heat when it gets really bad. But working out here in this shop when during the winter it gets cold, my feet are like blocks of ice. We have to put me some kind of floor in this place this year. Let's have a look here. Huh. Well, I think the guy that was looking for it. He just left. So if you want to, go ahead and list the link. But the thing about online YouTube tax accountants, um, some things are different depending on where you live. So I go with somebody that I can pay because my taxes are attached to their name, and if something's not right, they're in hot water. If something's not right with your taxes, and you say, oh, "Some guy on YouTube said blah blah blah," well, that don't help too much when you get in trouble. And I'm not downsaying anything on anybody, but I'm pretty sure even Mark would tell you you need to get a local CPA to help you. I'm sure all of his information is outstanding. Oh, all right, folks. Well, my wife has just told me it is dinner time. We've been on for close to 2 hours. I think we're going to call it a night here. A lot of people have already called it a night. I want to tell everybody I appreciate you for coming in, and we'll see you next time.